those kind of beliefs around your marriage. So let's go again. A myth is a false belief which is unverified, and it is often rooted in tradition, in culture, or your imagination. And we say myths about marriage are beliefs that we hold and we believe that this is true, but they have no basis. It is not real. There is no scientific evidence. And we say that these things can sometimes create marriage problems. That is the reality about it. Now, this verse says, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23 verse 7, as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Now, this is a timeless principle that reveals our reality, or what shapes our deepest convictions. And this principle plays out more powerfully in marriage than anywhere else. We all know that marriages evolve, but knowing this is not enough to keep it healthy. So quite often, unspoken myths about romantic ideas that we think that are true, they shape our relationships more than we can imagine or we can. And this is what causes a lot of problems in marriages, just by what we think, what we imagine, what we assume that is true. And this can really fuel conflicts. The things, your mindset, the things you believe in your mind concerning marriage, those myths that have not been verified, that have no scientific evidence, that have no proof anywhere. You just believe because maybe you saw it, maybe you saw your parents said it, maybe you heard it somewhere, maybe you just saw, for some reason, those things come to you and you grow up believing some things which have no proof. These things can only fuel conflicts in marriages. It causes more problems than we can ever imagine. So our thinking is is like 90% the cause of how we enjoy our homes, our marriages. What do you think in your mind? Because as a man thinks, so is he. As somebody is thinking in their mind, that is what becomes of them. Your thoughts make you. So we're going to start with the myths tonight. Myth number 1 about marriage. People believe that are real. People believe them to be true, yet they are not true. That's the myth we're talking about. And the first myth tonight that many people have come to believe is that marriage is very hard. They see marriage as a heavy burden and very complicated. So marriage is very hard. It's a heavy burden. It is very complicated. This is a myth. Somebody who thinks it's not a myth can share why they think it's not a myth. The marriage is very hard. It's a hard thing. And you see a young girl who has been told that marriage is very hard, get into a marriage, even when things are well, they cannot accept the good side of it because they have been told that it is very hard. They have been told that it is very complicated. This is it. Makes sense to anybody? By the time we go through about 10 of these, I think you'll be able, things that you know that are you've reflected on them. By the time we go through this myth, then you'll begin to discover many other myths that you know, or that maybe you thought real. but now you're discovering that this is a myth. Our second myth tonight is that marriage will bring you closer together automatically. Yes or no? Let me hear yes or no from you guys. Is this a myth or not? That marriage will automatically just bring you guys together.
Yes.
Yes or
Yes,
no?
Mom.
Yes, Mom.
Okay. Yes. The marriage will automatically bring you both together. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. Myth number 3. The marriage will automatically. That's the third myth. Automatic things better. Yes.
Yes.
It's a myth. Things will get better automatically. Things automatically. That's myth number 3. Myth number 4. Married couples will always feel in love. Yes or no?
Married couples
will always feel in love. Every day, feeling in love. Yes or no? Is this a myth or not?
It's a myth.
The myth, Mom.
It's a myth, Mom. Yes.
Correct. A myth. All right. Myth number 5. Getting married will provide a deeper sense of trust and security. Just because you get married, trust. Yes or no? That's myth number 5. Deeper sense of trust and security. Does marriage provide trust and security automatically? Yes or no? Is it a myth or not? A myth. Good. A myth. Like I said, by the end of all these myths I'll give us tonight, you're going to share also myths that you know too, because these are things that you yourself you know a lot of them. Now, myth number 6 is that differences will ruin your marriage. A myth or not a myth?
A myth, Mommy.
It's a myth. Yes, differences will not necessarily ruin your marriage. First of all, no two people are the same, right? Some differences are even better and complementary. They help others to become. Some people love other things. Some people do behave in a way, prefer to eat some, that differences. People see things in different ways, different parts to life. So the one you are married to is not just going to be seeing everything the way you see. And that doesn't mean that your marriage is not working. It's not a sign that your marriage is not working. So many people have misinterpreted that to say that, okay, this marriage is bad. Because when you see things in a way your husband is in another way, and so in other words, differences will not ruin your marriage. If you say differences will ruin your marriage, it's a myth. They must not. They must not. So myth number 7. Happily married couples never argue. They never argue. A myth or not?
A myth.
Happily married couples never argue.
It's myth.
I'm very happy in your marriage, and we argue very well.
It depends the level at which you take your argument. They argue.
Correct. We argue. So it's a myth to think that happily married couples never argue. It's a myth. It's a myth. Normal people must argue. argue something.
Mm.
Now, when you learn in communication, you're going to just learn how to argue friendly. You can point out a difference without hurting the other person. You can argue and you still end up well and you're fine. So it's a myth. Myth number 8. Your spouse is responsible for your wholeness. Your spouse is responsible for your wholeness. A myth or not?
A myth. Mm.
To think that your spouse is responsible for you to be whole, for you to be complete, for you to be balanced, is your spouse. You wait for that balance forever. It's a myth. It's a myth. Your spouse is not responsible for your wholeness. Responsible for.
Mm.
And this is the mistake that a lot of people do because they move from one man to the other, thinking that they are going to find healing in a man. Somebody can guide you like a coach, like a counselor, or someone can guide you and help you to heal, not a partner. Most of the time, people go, that is why they keep having those repeated failure in relationship, because you are looking for healing where there is no healing. You're trying to get healing from where it is not even existing. All right. So, myth number 9, having kids will improve your marriage. Ooh, myth or not?
Myth, big myth.
Big myth. Big myth. If it was so, then many divorces that have taken place will not have happened because of kids. But they are happening and even tearing these kids apart. Kids are wounded, they are traumatized, they are hurt because of parents' divorce. You can imagine. Myth number 10. Well, cohabiting before marriage will ensure its success. Myth or not?
Myth.
Myth.
Myth. A myth. A myth. It's a myth. It's good to know these myths because these are the things that are underlying things that when people come to you with problems, they have these myths within them that is ruling them, controlling their mindsets, their perception about life and relationship. And you'll be struggling to solve a problem that you don't know the roots of the problem. You don't know the cause or the foundation of it. When you understand these myths and understand what people believe, it's easier to help them. Okay? Myth number 11. That's the third to last myth for tonight. No matter how I behave, my spouse should love me the way I am because I am good enough just as I am. I'm good enough just the way I am. No matter how I behave, my spouse should just love me the way I am because I am good enough just as I am. Myth or not? No matter how I behave, my spouse should love me the way I am because I am good enough just as I am. So I'm not ready to change for anybody. I'm not ready to do anything about me. Because I'm good the way I am. Myth or not?
Big myth.
Myth, Mom.
Myth.
Good. All right. Myth number 12. Myth number 12 says, I can change my spouse by pointing out his inadequacies errors and us. I can change my spouse by pointing out his inadequacies, his errors, and other flaws, myth or not.
I think it's big myth, but you can change, ma. You can change him to become worse.
Exactly. You can get the worse. You can get
The
the worst out of
negative.
him. Correct. Correct. Correct.
Mom, please, can you go over number 12 again, please?
Number 12 myth. Okay. Let me see. Number 12 has disappeared.
As by pointing out.
By pointing out. Read it,
His
Makaru.
His inadequacy. There was another one I didn't. Two others that I didn't
His
get.
errors.
Errors.
And
Errors.
other flaws. Errors and other flaws. So you can change your spouse by pointing out his inadequacies, his errors, and his flaws, or other flaws that he has, other weaknesses. In other words, you can change your spouse by pointing out his weaknesses.
Thank you.
Myth or not? Is this a myth or not? Big myth. Did I hear that?
It's a myth.
It's a myth. Big myth.
Yes. Big myth. And it's such an error. I was counseling somebody last week, and she kept doing this thing of pointing out, you've done this, you've done that, you did this, you did that, you did that, you did this, you did this. Oh my God. I told her that, you know what, if you don't change this thing, he's going to go, and you will even forget about him, because he will come back when you are sleeping, just to avoid hearing all this you are pointing out of. This, you have done this, you are doing this, you are doing that, you are doing that, you are that, you are this, you are that. All the negative things. And one of the ways I ask them, like, is there anything good about him? Is there anything that he does or she does that is good? Most of the time they'll tell that yes. I'll say name them. They will name a number of things that are good. And I'll be like, okay, if they are this good in this and this and this and this, can we leave all these other inadequacies? Can we just focus on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good ones? Let's do this like a therapy. There was another lady I worked with, she's in Europe. And by the time I just told her, I say, this week, let's focus only on this 1, 2, 3 and talk about them. Because we are very fast at pointing out errors and mistakes. So much so that we don't even remember the good ones when they happen. So I'm like, let us catch them when they're doing the good ones, because there will be a good one. Catch them doing the good one and shout it out. You're going to use that one to swallow up the other ones. You will use it to overshadow the weaknesses. Once you start pointing out their strengths of your spouse, whichever one, lady to wife to, or husband, or whatever, whichever one, even if it is you, lady, and somebody keeps only picking out on your weaknesses, you are never going to be happy with that. It doesn't add a plus to you in any way. It doesn't add value in any way. It instead hardens you. Because you're going to ask yourself, am I in prison? Am I in prison? What is this? So I'll often tell women, you are not their discipline mistress. Don't go and be somebody. You are his wife, for God's sake. So you can't be building friendship. Nobody loved their discipline master that much. Nobody in school. Remember your school days. Who was ever in love with discipline master or mistress? Because they're always coming to point out on your errors. They're always coming to whip you for something or punish you for something. When you see them, what you see is punishment. This is what we do without knowing that we are doing it. If you spend your time and energy only pointing out on your spouse's error, you have become their discipline mistress or master or whatever. And the same way that we treat our discipline masters in school is the same way they are going to treat you, because you have become one. When we see discipline masters, what do? We run away and hide. You just wish they were not there. You're praying that this person should just please let them go. And this accounts for the reason why many men, they stay out late, because they don't want somebody that when they come to, the person is only pointing out on their mistakes. When they are in the bar with their friends, nobody is looking for their errors. They are drinking and having fun. They want to have more fun there. Chit chat with somebody who is not judging and condemning them. When they come home, you're judging, you're condemning, you this, you went up, you came down. Let me tell you, most of the time, they even know when they do what is wrong, they know that it is not right. They know. So they don't even need you to be their teacher or their discipline mistress or master or whatever to tell them. So, big myth, right? That was myth number 12. And lastly, the last myth I want to share with us tonight is the myth number 13, which says, if my spouse loves me, he should instinctively know what I want and know what I need to be happy. He should just see me like this and just know that this one like this. I know what they want. I know what they want. I know what they need to make them happy. Instinctively, they will just know. Like you don't tell them anything, they just know if they love you. Myth or no myth?
Myth.
Like myth. Like if my spouse loves me, he should instinctively know what I want. She will know what I need to be happy. Just out of instinct. Out of instinct. This is another myth that we carry. And that makes us unhappy unnecessarily. Things you could avoid. Unhappy scenarios you could avoid. I was telling another lady who was complaining. Can you imagine that? I told my wife that I needed I told my husband I needed whatever she wanted. I've forgotten the thing she needed. And the other told her that he did not have money. She even said, and the man said he did not have money. It is also a myth to think that your spouse will provide every need of yours. It's a myth. Myth or not?
Myth.
Good. Because now, do you now realize that it is important to know this myth and even these myths that exist and even create more myths, look for more, because there are many people who believe so many wrong things. Maybe they sat down as young girls discussing as friends and you'll be saying things like, oh man, me, I can never do this, my husband, I can never that, I can never, talking some things. And when you grow up, that thing sticks in you and you carry it, thinking that, this is what it is supposed to be. Whereas it's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. So let me hear from you guys. If maybe you also know some myths around marriage that you want to share with us. Let us all agree whether is this a myth or not before we move to the next section. Yeah.
Yes, mommy. Sharing a belief or sharing a common belief, like in faith, will guarantee a successful marriage.
It's a myth, right?
And then also that being from the same personality, yes, for me.
Good.
To
From the same will suddenly will allow a good marriage. That's a myth for real. From the same clan, you speak the same dialect, so marriage is just gonna work. It's a myth. Yes, Carol wrote one there. That's a powerful one. She also wrote the myth that a certain character of a spouse will change once they get married. It's a myth. It's a myth. People think that people will just change because they get. This one is very key for premarital counseling. is very key in premarital counseling, because many people believe that, oh, yeah, he smokes, but he will change. I actually counsel one like that, but it came a wedding, marriage was to take place next week. Then you come this week. I said, okay, you made a decision, you made your plans, you're going to get married. So I can't change a lot about you guys, but what I can only do is just go and be doing the marriage well. So if you now have issues, let me come in, because right now I cannot counsel you to stop you from getting married or not. But we just shared a few things, because premarital counsel is what thing that will help you either decide that I'm going in or I will not. Will I go in or not? Because when you now know some truths that you didn't know, you come and examine the person that you are trying to go in with, and you say, okay, I will go in because I am ready to accept 1, 2, 3. You know, this attitude or that attitude is not a deal breaker for me, so I'm going to go in. So, you know, that's what premarital counseling is all about. It's not advice. It's not you just advising people. That people have to examine and re-examine they are going in with. Whether are you ready? That is what should determine whether you go in for that marriage or not. And that's why we call it pre. So before you get into it, you need to check those things. Any other myths? Let's hear some myths that
Yes.
we talk about. That was a powerful one.
Yes, my coach.
Those ones you all said.
I don't know about this one where people believe that, or some people believe that when you are educated, too over-educated, or you are from a good background, maybe just a rich background, you cannot make a good wife.
Mm-hmm.
Or from a certain tribe, you know.
A myth. Capital myth. That myth is in capital letters. Just like the one Carol wrote in Karundi wrote in a capital letter. Is that yes, because this one is coming from this type of background, they can't make a good wife. They are too educated, they cannot be a good spouse. They are too rich, they cannot be a good spouse. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. What makes a good spouse is what you know. It's not you are cancelled if you personally, even if you have PhD in and you are doing personal, because you're highly educated, you can be and not a good spouse. You can even be a pastor and you're not a good spouse. Another myth that Rhoda wrote there, that that you complete your spouse, that you are the one who completes, or your spouse has to complete you. It's a myth. You have to be complete by yourself, because if you are waiting for somebody to complete you, you may never have that, and that will start bringing you frustration. Okay. Now, there is also good news. Even though there are myths, there are also some truths that we need to know about marriage. When we're talking about myths, we talked about, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. Your mindset. Every couple must quarrel. It's not must quarrel. They argue. The argument is not necessarily quarreling. Argument is everybody bringing their own point and thinking, seeing their things in their own perspective. Yes, he just wrote some there. That's why I was laughing. Now let's look about the good news about marriage that you need to also know. Truths about marriage that you need to also know. So please, when you go back, look for more myths and write. Put them down. Build up those myths, because these are guiding tools as well in counseling. They will guide you a lot. Now, I want to share some truths also. Mark 10 verse 9 says that, therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Now, there is good news that you have to know about marriage as well. Truth number one. Truth number one is that the actual divorce rate has never been close to 50%. And it is that it's significantly lower for the past. Let me share something around this truth, which I personally have noticed. What is happening is that feeling the most of the noise. They are louder. They are louder than the ones that are working, which makes it that a lot of marriages that are working, they're not talking, they're not out there saying that, oh, it's working, oh, it's not working. People just, they're in their corner and having their good marriage. They're having their good marriage in their corner. They're not really visible. They're not really talking about it. They're not loud about it. But those who are divorcing, they are loud, especially with what we have these days that they call social media. The fact that you keep seeing them on social media talking, oh, this one just divorced, oh, this one, that one is a little percentage. It is that little percentage that they are shouting. You've not gone to take the real statistics to know how many people are actually divorcing. The whole world is not divorcing. Not up to 50% is divorcing. It's true, people are divorcing. It's true, many have divorced, but it's not even up to 50%. And more, divorce has been on a decline. The fact that you hear it online doesn't mean that the number, the quantity, let me use the word quantity, is high. It is good to know this, yes. Very good to know this. This is a research, statistics from high-level coaches that have done this research and realized that actually the divorce rate is on a decline. It's just that those that are divorcing, they are making more noise about it. They are so loud. And you can confuse that to mean that the whole world is divorcing. Not the whole world. Not everybody is divorcing. Okay. True or not? You have a counter truth to this. You can still share with us. We are all here to learn, to get better, and to grow.
Yes, ma'am.
If there is no counter, then we'll go. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's not a counter, it's a question. Because in one of our earlier courses, I don't know if it's Papa D, that said that divorce is on the rise. There was a proven study that divorce is on the rise. So I don't know if this one is a report that
it's most recent.
It's recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most recent. That's why I review and revise and I get the latest.
Okay.
Yes, that was then, but that was a misconception as well.
Okay.
Because if you see now, if you notice now, there are more studies going on now. There are more people learning now. There are more people seeking counsel now. At first, it was a taboo. It was more or less like a taboo to even go and tell what is happening in your home to somebody. People are moving around and they will not share with anybody. But now, because people are sharing and learning, the rate is going down. So that's what had happened in the past, but right now it's going down. And I say that people think it is rising because those who are divorcing are louder than those who are not. They're making more news. Haven't you noticed that
yes,
is louder than
you just
yes,
took it from my mouth when you said this statement. I remember this song that I knew. I don't know who sang it. They said bad news travels like wildfire, while good news travels slow. And you talked about social media too. Whether you like a star you are or not, even amongst us in churches, our villages, meetings, and so you see that when it's succeeding, many people don't talk about it. Correct. But when the least problem, even just cough in your house, and especially with a friend that what happened with me or pray with me, it becomes news, and people enjoy that one more. Maybe that's what is making noise, and maybe that's what's making us think that divorce rate and is more. Because I, for one, I'll confess that before I came for this, that's one of the things that pushed me, especially that minus even the elder one, the young marriages that you hear these people just got married and they, with this big, large, good marriage with all noise, wedding. They say people take time preparing, most time preparing for weddings instead of marriage. And then when you hear, I was scared. I said, where are we heading to? Because it looked like our children no longer tolerate a lot. And so I was scared that maybe the divorce rate, but I say it's good to know because it's comforting for me to know that it's on the decline. Yeah. Thank you, Ma.
It is so. It's going that there's more awareness now. People have become more intentional now. That is why we talked about myths. Those myths, most of those myths have been debunked anymore because people have realized what truth is really about. So that on very soon you hear a lot of people on how helping people how to maintain their, teaching them on how to maintain their marriages, how to make it work, how to make it sweet, and they are following. The young people are following, they're listening to those things, and it's even helping them. There's a lot of counsel available now. It's true that there is also negative counsel, but guess what? The people who are mature, they know what is good for them when they hear it. True. Okay, let's listen to truth number 2 because this is entering into truth. Truth number 2 says most marriages are happy and not doomed as portrayed on TV. On TV, on social media, movies, drama series, and radio stations. That is a truth number 2, that most marriages are happy and they are not as doomed as the TV portrays, as the social media, drama, series, and all those things portray. Did you hear that? It's connected to what we're just saying about truth number 1. Because marriages are actually, there are many marriages that are actually happy marriages. They are. In spite of the ones that seem to be not working, they are good ones. Then, and the truth number 3 is that the rate of divorce in church is not the same as among not church-going population. That is significantly lower. They divorce in church. You see, when one person divorces in church or a pastor divorces, my God, that news will blow. It will boom